a vlog about what silly time of day to do a vlog. Um, I've got two to do. Well, I've got a lot of few, but one is on free car parking, free car parks, which is quite everyone wants to park for free, and they should be able to, and it's easy to do. And the other is on litter, both of which the public one they want to park for free, and two is that like litter everywhere. So, well, free car parking. Although I do want to do the litter one quite quick. It'll be this week, I reckon. But free car parking, right? Yeah? It's a passion. I think, and again, it has a lot to do with the current high street situation and how. Because if you go back in the day, if you're an old fogey like me, 50 odd, um, you realise that back in the day you had about half an hour parking, yeah? So you had to, if you went down the town, which is where we are. We've gone from like corner shops, people just actually going from corner shop. The whole thing is linked to free car parking, and well, it's a variety of things. If you look back at it, it goes back to the corner shops of yesteryear, where people used to have like corner shops in their front room. Or you only got to look at any old terraced house, and you'll see a bit of the corner shop, because it is a shop on the corner. Yeah. And then you had a situation where the corner shop owners had to put in disabled access, disabled ramps, but they never had the money. All they were doing is selling a few grocery items from their living room, effectively. They never had the expense, the money to actually provide the expense for disabled ramps. Back in the day, people used to, if someone wanted to actually, a disabled person wanted to go in the shop, there would be at least two people would actually be jumping at the chance to actually lift the wheelchair into the shop. Or if there wasn't any room for the wheelchair to turn round in the shop owner used to come out. There'd be customers in the shop, and the shopkeeper used to come out to the disabled person and ask them what they want and go and get it for them and actually bring it to them. That's where we were. And at the same time as that, the high street used to have about a 30-minute free parking. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out that basically you only want to be in. You couldn't do all your shopping back in the day like you can now. The supermarkets like Tesco, Sainsbury's, and all that, yeah, because they weren't about. This is about the early days of supermarkets, and so you'd have to go into one shop and queue, one shop and queue, another shop and queue, another shop and queue, another shop and queue, etc., 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 to do your weekly shopping. Bearing in mind you only had 30 minutes free parking, right? Which means you couldn't do it, could you? So you'd have to put your car somewhere, one end of the town, and do those shops, go to those shops there, and try and not get a parking ticket, which half the time you used to get a parking ticket. Then you have to move your car to the other side of the town to go to the shops that side of town, and queue and queue and queue and queue, and hopefully last over 30 minutes, because you get another ticket there, yeah. When you pay the council car parks, yeah. So then you had the supermarkets, Sainsbury's and Tesco's back in the day, who then decided to actually build supermarkets where you could do all your shopping all in one place, and used to give you about 2 hours free parking, which was just ideal which meant you could spend the money you didn't have to spend on paying parking tickets. You could spend that in the supermarket buying products that were cheaper than the high street from a supermarket in a retail park. And there wasn't even a retail park because they were the supermarkets were one of the first to actually make sure to take shopping from the high street to out of town supermarkets, which then became retail parks at a later date. So then you had so then people were doing all their shopping, and they could then have a coffee in the coffee shop within the supermarket after having done the shopping, and relax, make shopping more relaxing instead of actually a panic to try and get it all done and without getting a parking fine. Then you had, if you accelerate that, then you had like retail parks, which means more shops were leaving the high street to go onto retail parks and giving people so they could use it also the free parking, which is a big factor when you go shopping. Why should you pay council parking if you can go to a retail park and not pay at all? It's common sense. Which then leaves, which is taking the footfall away from the high street, which takes the vehicles away from the high street, which reduces the parking charges and reduces people paying parking tickets because they're not even parking in the first place. And then you've got a situation where the council's budget is then depleted. Then they've got to increase the charges for those that still currently go to the high street. And then you've got the current situation where the high street is in virtual collapse because of the likes of Amazon, where people just do the whole lot now on a sofa and forget about it, and it comes to their door within the morning on Amazon Prime. So there's no need to even go in the high street at all. But that leaves the council with a massive problem of then having to try and find the deficit of the car parking, which it once used to have loads of, and now it's got hardly any of. So, but the whole situation of free car parking is so simple. The council only knows of one way of the car parking, and that is, and most of the other car parks, the big car park companies, that is, a person parks a car in a car park that has a parking charge, and the owner of the car park takes the cost of running the car park from the person parking their car, and that's where it's all back to front. What should happen is they should have a website address that everybody knows and recognizes, which should be the keywords of the idea. Ironically, I own it, obviously. Freecarparks.com, plural. Freecarparks.com, which could be an app or anything, right? Where people actually just, so people go onto the website and reserve a space, or they book their parking space via the website, which then creates data which then advertisers will actually come on board to be in front of the vast amount of people that actually park their cars globally every single day. And that the advertising dollars revenue then actually funds the purchasing of car parks, which can then be used for free car park for people to park their cars for free in free car parks. And then it couldn't stop, which means they're making the owners of the car parks, if they've done it via the advertising, so let people park for free, but take the money back from advertising instead of taking it off the individual, they'd be able to buy more car parks and allow more people to park for free, and make more money from the advertising dollars, and it's a wheel that wouldn't stop going round. That's just too simple, isn't it? So the councils this year are going to take about £1 billion off the UK public. You've only got to look at the NHS car parks. It's almost like you can't afford to be ill because you'd have to be able to. You can only afford to go on NHS on a payday, so you can afford to pay the car parking charges. Whereas if the council worked with the NHS via a website address like freecarparks.com and took the money from the advertising dollars, not from the individual, which is a Facebook, Google way of doing things, and it would be able to offer free car parking in NHS car parks and council car parks, and the NHS and the council would make more money than they've ever seen, because they would be getting the advertising dollars from any car park in the world that wanted to be on freecarparks.com, which would give the councils all the data anywhere in the world excuse me, of all the car parks and the people that use the car parks, which would generate advertising dollars globally, which would just fund UK car parks for free. Well, global car parks. And that's how it's done. Excuse me, I'm a bit tired, but then again it is about 2:30 in the morning, so I should be. I should be going. So that is how you do car parks, and you can fund them for free. It's so simple to do, easy to, but I can't bother to do it. So every time you pay to park, in a car park, you do so because I can't bother to make freecarparks.com the next global free car parking app or website. Right. So that's how it should be done. It's only a matter of time before the likes of Google and Facebook will actually make free public transport funded by ad dollars, and free car parks funded by ad dollars. It's easy to do, cheap. It wouldn't cost Google or Facebook a penny to do it either, nor Amazon. And then, and that's the problem. It's a simple problem to solve, free car parks, but councils and NHS always think that the prehistoric method of taking the money from the individual. You could even provide all of the council's public sector services, civil services, whatever, from advertising dollars. But you have to have the right mindset to do that. You can't have this greedy, let's take as much as we can from the public, individually. It's a defunct prehistoric funding method. It's broken, it's finished in a digital era. A digital era is give the services for free, even if you've got to raise capital from venture capitalists to do so. So you could buy probably 3 or 4 car parks and start it off, and use the data from the car parks, which advertisers want to use, in exchange for sponsorship money or advertising, which would actually fund the existing free car parks and future free car parks. And you only got to look at these little towns. You got like county towns and city centres, which is the parking is expensive. I can only look at locally, like Northampton. The car parking is a complete rip-off, and all the country parks is so expensive to park. Milton Keynes, I won't even park in Milton Keynes near the shopping centre, because of the car parking charges. But then you look at the smaller towns, and they have got that offer free car parks, and they're bustling little towns, thriving little towns. Because if you give people free car parking, they'll park there for free. It's that simple. And while they're there, they can do shopping and everything else and put money into the economy. It's not rocket science, it really isn't. And that is, um, but to do it, you want a nice, easy to remember keyword.com of the idea of free car parks. And that's why I bought, for about 20 quid, free car parks with an S on the end.com. Easy to remember. How hard can it be? But I just can't be bothered to do the venture. So I just, yeah. The infrastructure that would have to be set up initially is not something I really want to bother with. But the idea is there, the concept is there. And it would make, whoever does it, billions of pounds. Because it would be a simple sum. E.g., the cost of the car parking would be X amount, a few billion. And the total amount of ad dollars received would be a few more billion than that. So let's just say the cost of car parking was 8 billion. As long as you take more than 8 billion, you make a profit, don't you? And everyone parks their car for free. Everyone's happy. Easy as pie, isn't it?